Alright, so what's going on? It's me, Capital Ice, with another video. And so in this video, I'm doing a voiceover. I was gonna say doing a voiceover kind of, but it's just a voiceover of one of my games on Fortnite. And I've been trying to make some Minecraft videos, but none of them turn out well. So anyway, that's like a story for another day. Anyway, so in this game, I'm just going to be going over the stuff that I did, because I feel like I played really well. And hopefully, I learned something out of reviewing this game. And hopefully you do too. So, what I started doing here was I dropped at this, like the dropshift thing. They don't have an official name for it, but I dropped at that. The one over by Lazy Links, over by Lazy Lagoon, and then I dropped over here, by like the outskirts kind of what's it called? Of Loot Lake. And at this point, I was kind of aggravated because I've been only getting assault rifles. But this place that I dropped afterwards, actually that was an amateur rifle, but it's fine. That place is actually it's really neat because every single time that I've dropped there, except for one time, there's been, and those are the health. Yeah, I can't change that. Anyway, so I heard a guy with a shotgun there, so I tried to leave because I don't have a shotgun, or I just heard someone running around. Then I spotted a loot llama. I started going for it, and I heard that guy, but he saw me too, so he started building. And so, I noticed that he doesn't seem that aggressive, so I take a couple hits, but notice that my shield gets taken down, so there's another guy. On this one, sadly, you can't see all the hit markers that I get, but I did hit him, and I noticed that he had a shotgun, so I tried to keep the fight mid-range. And so, of course, I know that there was another person. That's my health. Oh yeah, so I'm changing up. This is like pre-recorded. So right here I'm changing it up so that you can actually see the players and the hit markers and stuff like that. So here I knew that there's another guy, and I hear him underneath what's me. Going on? But I don't want to drop down just because I just got out of a fight. Another video, and I'm not exactly sure where he is. So I don't want him to hit me and just I lose all my health. So you have to play it smart, you know. You edit up a little bit. See if you can get some angles. See if you can find a voiceover, kind of. But so I'm not exactly sure if it's just a voiceover. But then I saw him like one of my games. I'm not sure edit or fix a wall or something. And my edit play probably could have been faster. Make some, but it's fine, I guess. Minecraft videos, but so I noticed that he started moving around. So he knows how to build, but he doesn't seem that good. That's like a story for another day. So he just started running. And here my frames dropped. Over the stuff that I did hit like a single shot. Like I played really well. And I finally started hitting him 20 something. Hopefully, 70, and then 114. I learned something out of overviewing. So could have been ended a lot quicker. But it was unfortunate for that guy because he didn't have a shotgun. Hopefully you do too. But anyway, so with the first guy, what I started doing here was I dropped at I guess just the main thing is if you're fighting a guy like the dropshift thing who has a shotgun, you don't have an official name for it, but just try to keep it mid-range. Like, because if you get too close, you're gonna get shotgun. The one over by Lazy, even with the combat, which has really good range, over by Lazy Lagoon. And then I dropped over here by the combat shotgun, kind of. It doesn't do as much from distance, of course. What's it called? But it does do damage. But I mean, would you rather get? And at this point, 10-15 damage hit kind of the combat because I've been only getting assault rifle. Or would you rather get a 77? This place that I dropped afterwards, actually that was an amateur rifle, but you gotta play it smart, you know. That place is actually really neat because here every single time that I've dropped there, which I usually find this is like my usual. There's been what's it called? My usual like arena mode, because this wasn't arena. I can't change that. Anyway, so I heard a guy with a shotgun there. Arena. So I tried to leave because I don't have a shotgun. I go from that drop shift and then I go down. Then I spotted a loot llama. I started going for it to those outskirts of that guy, but he saw me too, so he started building. Sorry guys. So the outskirts of I noticed that he doesn't seem that aggressive. And then after that, take a couple hits, but I usually hit it taken down. So there's another guy. I think on this one said they can't see all the hit markers that I get, but I did hit him, maybe looking for loot. And I noticed that he had a shotgun, not entirely sure. So I tried to keep the fight mid-range. Like, I think 2 days ago. Of course, I know that there was another person. I was going after that supply drop health. So I noticed that someone else got to it, so I dropped out. I'm changing. I hit a couple. This is like pre-recorded. So right here, I'm changing up, so I destroy his. See the players and. I destroy his baller and stuff before like that. He can. And here's something that I've recently started doing. So here I knew that there's another guy and I hear him underneath from third parties, but I don't want to build all around. Even if you're just going into an engagement and you think that you're not exactly sure where he is, and don't want him to hit me, and just you always need to box around because if not, so you have to play it smart. You know, you get edit up a little bit. See if you can get some third party if you can find out where he is. Like lasered from someone else. I'm not exactly sure if he's there. And before that, I'm not sure if you noticed. But then like that, I just boxed up again. Like, if you're trying to break into someone's box, fix a wall or something, just box up. And there, even though my edit play probably could have been faster, safe. But before that, I noticed that he had an edit on his floor. So I noticed that he started moving around. So he knows how to build, but it doesn't seem that good. So I backed up a little. So he just started running. And here, my frames dropped. That's why I took his single shot. So he just finally started hitting him 20 something. So what I'm doing is I have the right hand peek, so I'm waiting for him to. That could have been ended a lot quicker. Maybe edit, but it was unfortunate for that guy. Advantage on him because he's still getting out of his edit page. But anyway, so with the first guy, my shotgun. I guess just the main thing is if you're fighting a guy, it almost seems like he's out of mats because shotgun metal and you don't. But then he tries to rush me after I take it, like, and I when you get too close, you're gonna get shotgun. And there the main reason why has really good range is because like just. The right hand peek is so important. The combat shotgun in the fights because it doesn't do as much because of like there's no shoulder swap, but it does do damage in the game. But I mean, would you rather get? I heard someone else 10, 15 damage hit with a combat like hit on you. But I didn't really want to fight. Or would you rather get a 77? Anyway, so because like there's no shoulder swap, you gotta play it smart. You can't play with a gun in your left shoulder. It's just right shoulder the whole time. To Loot Lake. So the right I usually find this is like my usual because the other player can't see you, but you can see all of them. What's it called? My usual like arena. So right there, because this was an arena. I kept that in mind. I don't know what I was trying to do there. This is like my usual arena. I kept that in mind. Cycle. The right hand peek is super important. I go from that drop shift and then I go down. And so I made sure that I kept it right because you could get some early hits off to those before they even see you. And I'm pretty sure that I got one off on him, and that could have been the outskirts decision between the games, right? Loot Lake. And so here I was looking over Pleasant Park. I usually headed to Loot Lake more people for this time, but I didn't see anyone to get somewhere quick. Maybe looking for loot. So I went over here to the Expedition Outpost. Not entirely sure. Normally, like I think I'll drop my SMG for a sniper. But on this time I didn't. I was just going after that supply sniper and burst SMG. So I noticed that someone else got to it, so I dropped out. Really bad. It's hit a couple of shots. The way it is. But yeah, I decided not to drop it for just a suppressed sniper. I noticed that there were chug splashes in there, but I remember I was at full health, so I didn't really need it. And I think I was carrying minis. But yeah, so I didn't feel like I needed it. Anyway, this new block seems kind of familiar from like a while ago. I don't remember, but the name seems different, so it probably is different. Anyway, yeah, so I'm looking over here in the block, and I decided to turtle up in here just because there's enough metal for a metal turtle, but then I realized that the floor is actually brick, so I got yeeted. So yeah, so now I have to try and get the metal back there. I'm not sure if I was just like AFK for a second, or if I was deciding whether I should take the stink bombs over shadows, and in the end, I decided on the shadows, just because shadows are super important in late game, if you're playing arena or scrims or whatever in a tournament, but they're super important for late game because there's so many people, and if everyone's just shooting and trying to rotate, it's not going to be good for you if you don't have a way to rotate easily. So having shadows is super important because, I mean, you're practically invisible. And there I found a golden heavy sniper, so I had to take that. Actually, I think I had a regular SMG, like the suppress, but so I would take the sniper over it. And the flint knock being there was also a difficult choice, but I decided to leave it. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So the shadow bombs are super important for late game. I recommend taking them into every single arena game, just because it's life or death. Because if you try to rotate, and you have to rotate across the entire map without shadows, 9 times out of 10 you're going to get shot, lasered, and or die. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys really don't like it, but I would say 9 times out of 10 you should run shadows. I mean, but stinks are great too. Stinks are great. Just shadows and stinks if you can. One of my nice loadouts is like AR, shotgun, shadow, stinks, and then a med. I found this to be really useful just because there's like 2 utility items, which is great. So here I'm also looking for players. I thought someone was in that 1x1, but I realized that they left. So I just kept on looking around because I had a feeling that someone was going to be there. And then I see a guy flying from the launch pad. I actually do end up tagging him for one shot, 23. But quickly I decided to get back into my 1x1 just because, what was I saying? Yeah, just because, like, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Just because if someone was, like, looking at me with a sniper and I just kept AR spamming them, they would snipe me. And so here, I broke that launch pad so no one else could use it, and I saw a fight over here. And if I had known that that guy was standing still, I probably would have built up a little. But I didn't. That sniper shot was a little off. I think I tagged him there for a little bit. But I know this guy had just gotten a bit of health, and the other guy didn't put up that much of a fight. So I'm kind of aggressive, but not really. Always just make sure you box up if you're going into an engagement. You have to do it, right? There's no other way. And I noticed that there's a third party, and that's exactly why I did it. If I just stood on my floor and just AR spammed him, I most likely would have gotten lasered by this guy and then push, and I don't know where I would have gone from there. So there, I noticed that he's shooting at the other guy, and I turn around to make sure, and I see some shots going the other way. So I noticed that I can leave because I really don't want to be third-partied at this point. I don't think I'm weak. I think I'm at full still. But just the part about being in a third-party fight is just super annoying because you could get a kill on a guy and the other guy just comes and cleans you up, even with a siphon in there. So it's just not something you really want to be a part of. There, I thought someone was in that baller, but I wasn't sure, so I shot it out anyway. And then I see a guy on the far side, but I have to reload my sniper, sadly. So I noticed they went behind the tree. He was heading over here, so I dropped down on my baller, and I tried to get a shot off. But my snipers have been off lately. Anyway, so there he starts building. I noticed that he doesn't seem that good of a builder, but you can't really judge by that because he's only built a 1x1. And to be honest, okay, there, I thought I was placing my walls, but I wasn't. And so, like I said, you have to make sure you cover yourself. But yeah, so I run out of metal, so I start building out of wood. And I noticed that he's just kind of staying in his 1x1. And there, I could have kept AR spamming, but I figured I wasn't going to really get anywhere with it. Because he could just keep on turbo building, and I can't replace the floors or the walls or anything. So there, I'm not sure if he tried to shoot me or if he meant to shoot me out, but I just used it as, okay, time to be aggressive. So there, if he had gotten under my ramp, I probably would have tried to trap him. But, what was I saying? Oh yeah, but he used a shockwave to get above, so he was above me. I used a quick high ground retake. And then there, I thought he was down low, so I hit some edits. But I decided to keep the high ground ultimately, just because how important it is. I noticed that he's behind here, so I'm holding the ramp peak just because you can see it clearly. And there I get his wall. So here I have a decision to make, and I'm definitely going with play it safe. Because if I run inside and then try to, get his ramp. So there I did get his ramp, right? And I couldn't jump through that, which is probably what kept me from killing him. But, if I jumped through, if those walls on the side hadn't been mine, then I probably would have gotten trapped and then probably would have been down to 50 health. And I probably would have died. So there, I didn't get that, but he got a quick shot on me. And I have the right hand peak, so I know that I kind of have the advantage. But we're both kind of weak. So there, we both hesitated on that shot. I guess we didn't really expect it because we were both about to take minis. So there I put an extra ramp between us. I take a mini, and I notice that he just starts taking a mini a little late. So I miss a shot, hit one, and then there I finally hit him. But that was a really risky play. In a second, I remember this. I go to check my health. So here, I was only about like 60, 70 HP because I just took minis and then big shield. So I think I was at 60 health. So that was definitely a risky play because he had a combat. So he definitely could have just killed me in one shot. So there, I'm not going to lie, I got lucky, but the edit play was nice. And just holding the right hand peak, like I said, because that's super important. And so anyway, I remember when he was coming over here that there was a campfire. So I decided to take the campfire real quick just to get back up to full health, reload my sniper and everything. The heavy sniper is great for taking walls. That player wasn't that good, but he definitely knew how to like put up a fight because obviously he brought me down to weak health, and he definitely has some good aim. So credits to you. So here I'm just chilling, watching my health. I'm pretty sure I leave the health on for the rest of the game, of like the overview. So there I get to full. So I decided to head back into the action. Maybe I can find a couple guys who are fighting and get a snipe off on one of them. The heavy sniper is great, by the way. Hits for 157 to the body if it's gold, 150 if it's purple. So it's really nice. And I usually have AR shotgun sniper, that's a great loadout for me. Even if you're not that good at sniping, just to take walls and stuff like that, it's great. And so anyway, I head back up this hill because I noticed that that's probably where the most people are going to be. And I remember there were some minis and stuff over here. So I decide to pick up the minis, I thought. No. So I see a guy gliding over. I go for the no-scope. It's a Demogorgon skin. And so I immediately try to get high ground. And I notice he tries to retake, but I get stuck in the tree. So I realize that this fight isn't really going to go anywhere, or possibly not even in my favor if the tree is in the way. So I decided to turtle up. I was going to go break the tree, but he ended up breaking it before me. And then now he's trying to break into my box. So here, I had the idea, if I put a trap on the floor, and then cone him, put a wall off to the side and break his ramp, my trap would do damage to him. So I was this is like a game that I had a lot of kills. I'm not that good of a player, but I'm better than average, I'd like to say. So anyway, I went for the play, and then I broke his thing. I noticed that he put a trap down, so I hop off to the far side and hit him for, I'm not sure, a body shot or a headshot, but I do. Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic. Anyway, so like I said, I'm not super good, but I'm more than average, and so I decided to go for that trap play, and I felt like that was a really risky play, but to be honest, you have to risk it because after that my confidence built up so much in this game. Like I felt like I was on fire, like I was in the zone. And so I noticed I was going to go across to try to rotate, but I noticed that a guy edits a window. So I decided to go around the other side. And ballers are great, by the way, for rotation. Here, I was probably going to go for that supply drop, but I noticed that guy was building on it. I was running where I didn't see him, but if you look close, you could see that he was using shadows. So here I decided to turtle up just to play it safe, and I'm not sure where I was going to go. I might have gone into the pyramid. Where am I going? Oh, yeah. So I was going on to the opposite side because I was figuring that if I stayed behind the sign that said the block, then I would get, like, I don't know, since I couldn't build, someone would, like, laser me or something like that. I was just playing it safe, I noticed that there's a guy there, but he's holding a nice edit to the point that I can't really see him. So I'm just chilling right now, not really making a big deal. And so here, I made that little thing. It might look like excess building, but I made that so that I could go up with my baller, because if you edit that floor, edit the pyramid, then that leads me right into the what's it called? There, I almost got sniped, so I decided to not try that again. Anyway, so if you edit the floor and then the pyramid, which is like what I'm about to do, that wall and the pyramid protects you completely from being shot by anyone else. So I decided to hop into the hop into this disco place in the pyramid. And here, I don't know how I really like the airstrikes. I don't know anyone who's really died to the airstrikes, so I don't feel like it's that useful of a weapon. But anyway, here, I try to get out of the thing from there, but I realize that I'm not going to go anywhere because for some reason I can't break the wall. And I notice that the storm's kind of going back the other way, so I've gone too far. So I head back this way, and then I decide to get into the circle, which is what I'm about to do, and then just turtle up again, because you gotta play it safe. You gotta get those placement points. And so here, these things were really aggravating because you couldn't build on them. So I had to bring my baller inside. I noticed another airstrike, so I decided to just go for it because I'm protected enough. But then I realized that I have to go because of storm, and that little thing is blocking me, and I realized that I'm not even going to go anywhere the other way. So I decided to take a little bit of storm damage, but ultimately I decided to leave my ball and just use my shadow bombs. That guy cuts me off, so I decided to hop around, and I'm mainly focusing right here on the rotation, not really on any fights. But then I noticed that there's a lot of fighting and only 4 people left. So I noticed one guy gets killed, so I know that guy pretty weak. I hit him for a little